لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وقال الملأ الذين كفروا من قومه لئن اتبعتم شعيبا إنكم إذا لخاسرون فأخذتهم الرجفة فأصبحوا في دارهم جاثمين الذين كذبوا شعيبا كأن لم يغنوا فيها الذين كذبوا شعيبا كانوا هم الخاسرين فتولى عنهم وقال يا قوم لقد أبلغتكم رسالات ربي ونصحت لكم فكيف آسى على قوم كافرين صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Al-Araf, the story of Sayyidina Shuaib alayhi salam is going on. Sayyidina Shuaib alayhi salam, his people were called people of Madyan or Ashab Madyan. Their city was called Madyan, and in some other places in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also referred to as this nation as Ashabul Aika. So some of us have said that these were two different nations, and Sayyidina Shuaib ala nabina alayhi salatu wassalam was sent to these people first in Madyan and then sent to a different nation, Ashabul Aika, and most of us have said that they were one and the same nation. The Quran has mentioned different punishments for these two nations. So if they were the same nation, then Mufassirin have said, especially Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anh has said that these were the same nations, and all the different types of punishment that are mentioned, all of them came on this same nation. So last week we had read that these people were not fulfilling the rights of Allah in terms of belief. These were polytheists, and not fulfilling the rights of people as well, the rights of creation, huquq al-ibad, which was that they would sit in the ways and would snatch and loot people, and also they would try to create confusion in the mind of people who would believe in Sayyidina Shuaib. And also another thing written that these people would threaten the people who would have believed. So they were not peaceful people, but they would say that we will kill you if you bring faith and believe in Shuaib ala nabina alayhi salatu wassalam. And of course the other thing that we mentioned, فَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ وَالْمِيزَانَ, that you fulfill, fully, when you measure things before selling or when you weigh them, then do it appropriately, do it honestly. But these were not honest people. وَقَالَ الْمَلَأُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ قَوْمِهِ, and the chiefs of his people who disbelieved from among his nation, they said, لَإِنِ اتَّبَعْتُمْ شُعَيْبًا, if you are to follow Shuaib. So they were either discussing it among themselves or they were telling the common people that لَإِنِ اتَّبَعْتُمْ شُعَيْبًا إِنَّكُمْ إِذًا لَخَاسِرُونَ, you will become losers. And what were they saying? That they were saying that you will lose your faith of the predecessors, which was not really the faith of their predecessors, because their predecessors, if they were Anbiya, and they were Anbiya, they were all monotheists. They all believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they had the first of the teachings of all the Anbiya was to believe in one Allah. And then they also said that if you start measuring and weighing things to the full honestly, then you will lose money. فَأَخَذَتْهُمُ الرَّجْفَةُ. So after the Anbiya, the Nabi Sayyidina Shuaib alayhi salam, he had tried his best to brought them to senses and to bring them to the right path, and they had started threatening him and his followers then, and had asked that bring that punishment over us, otherwise or they were saying that you give up your deen, otherwise we'll push you out of this land. So then فَأَخَذَتْهُمُ الرَّجْفَةُ. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned that an earthquake, Rajfa means earthquake, an earthquake caught them. فَأَصْبَحُوا فِي دَارِهِمْ جَاثِمِينَ, and they were found dead in their homes, fallen on their faces. So here the ulama have written detail, and in some other place in the Quran Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned Ashabul Aika. If they were the same nation or if they were a different nation, the punishments came in this way that ulama have said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first sent down a lot of heat. So there was the temperature of that land became really high, and they were suffocating because of that temperature, and they went to their underground places, but they even suffocated even more there. So they came out, and then they went out of their city towards a forest, towards a jungle. and Aika literally means jungle or forest. So they went out there, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent towards them a cloud of shade, and therefore this punishment is also called the punishment of dhillah, that a punishment of shadow or shade. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent that shade, and they thought that this is comfortable place, so they went, all of them gathered under that cloud, and that cloud had cool breeze flowing under it. So they gathered, all of them gathered there, and then immediately Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started to pour down fire over them. And there was in another place in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also mentioned that there was this extreme sheer cry, that also jeering cry, that also made them fall over their faces, or an earthquake. So all three punishments ulama have written were gathered on these people, and they were found dead. فَتَوَلَّى عَنْهُمْ. Then Sayyidina Shuaib ala Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he out of regret, or out of feeling for those people, he said, فَتَوَلَّى عَنْهُمْ, he turned towards them, فَتَوَلَّى عَنْهُمْ وَقَالَ, he turned away from them, وَقَالَ, and he said to them as he was departing, وَقَالَ يَا قَوْمِ لَقَدْ أَبْلَغْتُكُمْ, O my people, I have surely delivered to you رِسَالَاتِ رَبِّي, the messages of my Lord, وَنَصَحْتُ لَكُمْ, and I had wished you betterment. فَكَيْفَ آسَى عَلَى قَوْمٍ كَافِرِينَ, but however then should I grieve over a disbelieving people? So these people are kafireen, and I'm not allowed to grieve over disbelieving people, so I will not do that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from all sorts of punishment, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us those who follow our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fully. Ameen ya rabbal alamin.